everybody. First, I must thank our host for providing equal opportunity for everyone around the globe to share this conference with each other. But during this conference, I realized that the online conference is not for me because I am a person with obsessive compulsive disorder and I must control things, and unfortunately I can't. And that increases my anxiety to the sky. And now I am thinking, okay, yes, anxiety. Let's see what the anxiety is. I want to set some questions about the anxiety. For example, is it good or is it not? Is it anxiety a feeling or is anxiety an emotion? And what difference it makes if it be a feeling or it be an emotion? Okay. Now, let's see what is the feeling and what is the emotion. Feeling is what our brain experiences when it got a sensation from sense organs, for example, from our eyes or from the sensory nerves, for example, as a pain, and then interprets these sensations, labels it, and keep it as a memory in somewhere known as a hippocampus. Feelings is real, and it means that brain cannot experience hot when it is cold. And it is the reason why we say that the baby has no feelings, because baby cannot make any long-term memories. But on the contrary, emotion is how brain reacts to the situations and not how it experiences the situation. And emotion can be fake or can be real. And it is the reason why the anxiety is an emotion, because anxiety is the reaction of our body, of our brain to a situation. As I said, anxiety is an emotion, and it is because it is not what brain feels and experiences through our sense organs and sensory nerves, but it is how brain reacts. There are many scientists who work on the anxiety, from Charles Darwin to Paul Ekman. Paul Ekman is the one who categorized emotions to universal emotions and secondary emotions. What you can see in the screen is what you can see. Can I change my screen? Sorry.
You can change. Why not? Click next.
No. I want to change from.
Okay, unshare and then share back. No problem. You have unshare. Click on stop sharing and then share another screen. No problem.
Okay. Okay, now. Okay. Now can you see my screen? Complete screen?
Yeah. Yes, okay.
Okay. That now you can see the all emotions that we have. That is 7 emotions is named by the Paul Ekman. And these emotions are fear, that is exactly like anxious, but just different stimuli produces these emotions. And it's sadness, anger, disgust, contempt, surprise, and enjoyment. Emotions have 2 characteristics. First, they are either unpleasant or they are pleasant, and they have grade. They are either mild to intense. And it is how our secondary emotions comes. Secondary emotions either are the intensity of the universal emotions. For example, panic is the highest grade of fear, or happiness for enjoyment, or they are a combination of other emotions, or they don't have facial expressions. What is important to know is that universal emotions are not universal because everybody have the same experience. It is universal because people show the same facial expression, and even this facial expression are the same for animals. As you can see, for example, anger or enjoyment or fear or calmness or surprise, sadness, they are exactly the same. How anxiety manifests in our body starts with mental assessment. It means it starts with a praise of the situation, what's going on, what is happening. Then what we expect, for example, if I am suffering from social anxiety, I think if I make a mistake in the publicity, then they will criticize me. This kind of thoughts brings me to the situation that there is a danger. Then I have physiological changes that activates body alarm and brings me to survival mode, activates sympathetic nervous system to bring me to the fight or flight situation. And then you can see the behavioral responses such as facial expression. As you see the definition of emotion in dictionary, you see that it is exactly mental reaction, physiological and behavioral changes in the body. But when anxiety is a disorder, anxiety is not a disorder because when it is high. Anxiety is disorder when a situation is not a threat and it is safe, but we feel we take it as a threat. Or the anxiety interferes with our ability to function effectively. It means that it shouldn't be high that interferes with our life, but if every day I experience a little bit of anxiety, it interferes with my life. But important is that everybody has the capacity to regulate emotions. This capacity is from impaired functionality to remarkable resilience. It doesn't mean that someone just shows impaired functionality and another remarkable resilience, because emotional regulation capacity is personal and is situational. It means I can show impaired functionality in one situation and remarkable resilience in another situation. Impaired functionality has a category that you can see here, but the important thing is the avoidance is the signature of anxiety. And the avoidance completely is obvious. When I feel anxious, I avoid it to be a situation that makes me anxious. For example, if I am suffering from social anxiety, I avoid to be around the people. Or rumination is bringing negative thought again and again in our mind and making new scenarios and keeping them for a while. But what we can do to regulate our emotions, it means how we can shift our negative emotions to positive emotions. For example, we cannot change our social anxiety by jumping in the street and hugging the first person in the street and feel love. It is impossible. There is two strategies that we can use. One is to have good behavioral self-control, and it means in advance that we can plan, or we can change our emotional situation. One of the things that we are using is using breathing technique. Breathing technique is very amazing because not only changes the mind, that it is showing us that there is a danger. For example, breathing awareness, put one hand on the chest, one hand on the abdomen, and focus on the inhale, exhale. It means that distract our mind from what we experiencing to a calmness situation. Breathing pattern is not something that when we are anxious we can use because we know that when we are anxious, one of the signs of activation of sympathetic nervous system is hyperventilation, and it means there is more oxygen available for our body. And when we are breathing calmer and deeper, we are doing the same. Actually, breathing pattern is something that we must practice and make it as our habits. And another thing is use your fascial muscles when you are doing inhale and exhale. I think that you have heard that they are selling, for example, you are doing inhale and during exhale make a S sound, for example. It is exactly you are activating the muscles that you are using for smiling. And I want to show another thing that you can use to change your facial expression and change your emotions from negative to positive. It's me and hi everyone. You can find a pen or pencil, put it in your mouth, and as you can see, your face is changing in a way that you are smiling. It means you can not only can change your facial expression to have an emotion, you can have that emotion and your facial expression will be changed. You can use your mind and your facial expression to affect what physiologically happens in your body. And the only things is the matter of practice. The regular practice is the key to success. Thank you, everyone.